Hello, and welcome back to the video on the channel. So today I really want to dive into something that's been on my mind for a lot recently, and honestly for the last year or two. I kind of wanted to use YouTube as an outlet for something that I just wanted to bring up. I started YouTube over 2 years ago now, at least on this channel, and if not, almost all of my content is related towards my community CVCRP. I want to clear something up before I do start this video, that this video is not meant to boast my server or boast me, because I obviously have my own issues, and the same with the server. No one's perfect. But I want to, at the same time, voice my frustrations and opinions on the RP community as a whole for GTA 5. Obviously, this video is my opinion. I do not do this often. This is my first time that I've really sat down, talked to the mic with really just a small script and some topics put together and some little bit of research. I'm excited but scared. And because this is my first time, I'm sure I will mess up a few times. And I do want to be called out for that. I do want to have a conversation in the comment section. And if I miss something or you guys have something to add to the conversation, constructive criticism, whatever it may be, please comment below and let me know. But I do want to go ahead and say that the video will be spread up in multiple parts. What we're going to do here today is I will be talking about GTA communities however long this video lasts. And I will be, if you look at your screen now, these will be the topics that I'm going to be going over. There's probably going to be 5-ish or so, maybe a little bit less, maybe a little bit more, but these will be the main topics with the time frame next to them. If you want to fast forward, you can. If you want to keep watching the video, then go for it. But these are so that you guys can see the separate topics separately. But that right there is the timestamp. So we'll be beginning really with the timestamps. What I really want to talk about real fast is how I got into RP and where it started for me. And then we'll go ahead and continue those next topics. The first part for me, though, was that the beginning of RP started back for me in the summer of 2017. So it's getting to 3 years ago now. Watching YouTube, and I got really bored and was just trying to pass out. Eventually, I saw my recommended a video by Bay Area Bugs titled GTA 5 Roleplay DOJRP. But it looked interesting. At the time, I was actually getting into law enforcement. I was really starting to enjoy the police side of things. It was really interesting for me. So I got really excited or intrigued at least, and I went to go look at the video. And I clicked on it, and I almost immediately fell in love with it. It was really interesting. It was really funny. It was in a game I knew. I played GTA 5, and it was something that I couldn't get used to and enjoy. And I fell in love with him, and I started watching him. I started binge watching the crap out of him. And days started passing. I was just watching. And eventually, I got to the point where I wanted to find out more about it, and I later found out that it was a community for PC. Now, a lot of people that are on Xbox are going to agree with this, and that this is the same thing that they found themselves in. They don't have a PC. They only had an Xbox or a PS4. And so this really was heartening. It sucked. So I got on my Xbox the night of, and I turned on GTA. It was like one of the first times I opened GTA in a while, because I didn't play it for a lot. I mean, the campaign was great. Once the campaign was over, online was like an afterthought because it was just really toxic and there was a lot of jets flying around.
The coolest person in this lobby now.
RP'd by myself on a campaign in the story mode, and I would act like a cop. Really, I would just go and pull people over or drive around and follow traffic laws and use my lights and sirens. That was about it. I was that desperate to use a vehicle with cop lights on it. So kind of sad, but that's where I started. Then eventually I found out, this is what Discord is. I should re-download Discord because I had it previously, but it wasn't really like a big thing like it is now. And that's where it started. Xbox RP and Discord, all there on that group post. And eventually I created CVCRP with the knowledge I had from previous servers. And it's been around since August 8, 2017. That whole story of getting to learn how to RP, that's really where it comes from, though. That's where a lot of people want to start it, is from they're interested in law enforcement. Maybe they're interested in the whole cat and mouse. Maybe they just enjoy in general being a part of a larger community and being a part of a friend group. A lot of people do join RPs too to get away from real life, try out things that they couldn't do in real life, or just to get away from the stresses of every day. And that's what communities are meant to be for, is a fun, safe place to relax. Back then, in 2017, 2018, It wasn't as competitive and difficult as it is now to start one. RP communities on GTA are something many like to enjoy. They enjoy doing it. They love doing it. That's why they obviously are in it or they want to RP. But it's been turning into a competition. It's been turning into something that getting very just annoying to be a part of. Communities are not meant to be companies or entities. They shouldn't be trying to fight on quote unquote territory of space in the RP server community area in general. Instead, they should be meant to bring enjoyment and fun to GTA 5 RP. The reason communities are formed in the first place is so that we can keep toxic players out that don't want to RP and that are going to destroy stuff, and bring all the players in that do want to have a fun time and do an RP and bring them together into one place. But recently, RP communities have been turning into kind of a cash grab, a ploy to gain quick fame or to start drama to troll their communities. It's not there to actually be a good community. It's there to start issues or to just be an issue. And a lot of those servers do pop up and leave, and a lot of servers that have been really good do pop up and die. I mean, it's a sad thing to see. But the amount of corrupt staff teams on servers, the amount of toxic players is growing in the communities, and it's becoming sickening. My main issue with communities don't get along, and there's not even like a mutual respect. Obviously we don't have to be buddy and buddies, but if there's at least a mutual like respect between each other, that's all that it takes to make a difference. And things like this just are a big issue. Every day in our community, and this is our experience with it, we are removing constant advertisers advertising their community, saying that it's the right community for you, that it's better, that it's a better choice for all of you, and it's a better choice than these other servers that you're in. It's the server that you want, and that's for you, and that's better for you. All of this just rambling garbage that just doesn't mean anything. It doesn't do anything besides get them banned, but it just shows the amount of people that, like, the extent that people are trying to go to get people to join their server, to grow it, to make it big, and to just compete against each other. It gets toxic, it gets old, it gets annoying. Honestly, seeing the advertisements through those, it just feels like you're walking through a bunch of billboards, or if you're sitting through an ad, like an ad or pop-up site. It's not good, it's toxic, and it's just annoying. It almost feels like there's a secret battle going on, or that everyone has to be passive aggressive with each other. And it just sucks really bad. It really does suck. My next topic here is going to be greed, and this is probably going to be one of the most enjoyable ones to go over for myself because it's the most persisting and annoying one that's been happening recently. A community needs donations to run a majority of the time. There is a lot of communities that at the start they can handle without donations, but if you're ever looking to get a better CAD, a better website, advertise, you are going to need funding. You're going to need a fan base. You're going to need someone that can financially back yourself up or back you up. And that's awesome. I 110% support any community that has a growing fan base that wants to support it with donations and love and support. That is amazing. It is not awesome, though, when communities such as DOIJ or URP are using this thing that we like to call a cash grab, a pay-to-win community. Pay-to-win, if no one knows what that is pretty much when you can buy or pay money to get a certain rank quicker than others, pretty much get to have the ability to purchase an item that you won't ever get or you will take forever to get. And it's unfair to the players that dedicate their time and energy into the community if you can just donate straight up to the top ranks, etc. The pay to win is just the surface level issue. If you continue to actually dig deeper down past that, you're going to start noticing that there is a very trendy line of founders and owners taking the money and pocketing it into their own pockets to use for personal use and not for the community. I have spoken to many members from DOIJ, and they have all told me, past and present, that Khan stealing money for the community. I was not going to make a video on this. I was not going to call him out for it because obviously I do not get to see his bank account. I do not get to see how he spends this money. I'm not him. However, just recently, one of his head of directors has contacted me, BT King, and he's gonna be on the screen right here now. And this is actually very important for this video because he is one of the main reasons I actually made this video, because I was really holding off on doing this video until this guy contacted me. He pretty much told me in a verbal statement, Khan does take money. 100 to 500 per week is what they get donated, and that he's completely okay with Khan taking this money for personal use because they no longer need it because their cat is for free, and because they have so much people making stuff for them now because of their size. I tried to tell him that that was not okay, and yet he told me that I'm just jealous I will never see $500 donated to me, and he continued to say how our server is weak and it will die. Like I said, this guy is a joy, and I'll be sure to bring him up again here later in the video for the next topic because he will be used a lot. Last topic I want to bring up is the packaging and the types of donations you get for donating to these types of communities. A great example is URP, just because I'm actually in that server to give you guys more proof. The issue with his packages, not only is it the items that we talked about earlier, he has this thing where it says saving $10 or saving $5 next to each one of them. And the issue with this is that he released the package on the 5th of December. Literally less than like 20 days later, this guy makes it go on sale for $10 less and makes it $40. Now, by the time I'm making this video, it is January 15th, and he has not changed that price back to $50. It's still saying saving $10. So I don't know how long they have this deal going, but you can't say you're saving $10 on something when the price is just going to be $40 for the rest of the time, because you're not saving any money because it's never going back up to $50. I don't know how long you plan on your deals lasting for a whole another month, because it's getting close to a whole month of that deal going on, and I'm going to say, wow, what a deal, because woo! My next thing that I love, and if you guys look at this next picture, I'm going to be sure to zoom into this one for you guys so you can make sure you get all of it in its glory. If you donate $40, $50 at one point in time, you will now have permission not only to carry firearms, but to kill others if needed. So, if you've ever are looking to kill someone in RP, if you need to, make sure you donate $40. Because then you can actually kill someone and survive. That's pretty much for the greed section now. There's a lot more I could cover. I just have insufficient proof to go over, and it's a lot. I mean, a lot of communities are going to be cash grabs and trying to break these things. And for the ones that don't do that, thank you guys so much. But I just wanted to go ahead and say that at least so you guys can watch out in case there's someone around with a pistol that costs them $40. I just had some questions about it because I've heard a lot of rumors, and you guys said that there was some beef. DOIJ and those types of RP servers that are, giving RP a bad name. So I was just wondering, if you had information about it that
Yeah, they're top. Just give ranks. Like, if a girl joins, they'll get, moderator instant.
Gotcha.
I heard Khan takes money for his bank account or something.
I've heard from other people that came from them to us, said they have a lot of immature people, and their roleplay no vice at best.
Yeah, the next topic is toxicity. What a great topic to go over. I just want to go ahead and start off real fast, but toxicity is everywhere. This is something you'll never avoid, and you need to get used to if you aren't already. Bullying, harassment, rude comments, they're everywhere. And you can't protect everyone from it, and you never will be able. However, toxicity from communities and people is definitely increasing and getting worse over time than it was in the past. Recently, the toxicity has been growing towards other communities as well, and this goes back to our competition topic. What is going on? And this is where we go back to the guy I brought up earlier, because this is an exact continuation of why is this happening. BT King 2000, who is the head of directors from DOIJ, and this guy is something else. If you look at the pictures on your screen here, he contacts me on Monday at 12:54 a.m. saying that he was from DOIJ, and he explained to me that it was a big server. I obviously already knew about it, and he told me that he was the HBOD, which means head board of directors. He told me he was a high rank, and I asked, okay, why did you leave DOIJ? It seems like it's a pretty big thing to leave behind. He says he wanted to start new. He felt like he was too well known, so I started the call at 1:17 a.m. and that call ended around 1:25 a.m. What happened during this call is this is when he told me that the staff team was corrupt. He did not like the staff team. He did not like the server, and the donations were being used for stuff that was not about the server. I ended off on a good note with him. Told him, all right, man, when you bring in those 50 people, let me know so that we can talk, because that's a lot of people to be bringing in. But thank you so much for letting me know, and it was good talking with you. One of my staff members go ahead and send me a picture from DOIJ's recruitment server about 3 minutes later, and he is inside of that server still with the same rank. We checked the two accounts. The account he is messaging is a more newly registered account compared to his other one. And what that tells us is that it's a alt account. I call him back at 1:31 a.m. and he picks up. I tell him I want him to go to a different call. So he adds me as a friend and we go to a different call with my staff team. And I say, what are you doing in here? You're still in DOIJ. And he immediately gets pissed off. He starts freaking out. He gets disrespectful. He starts claiming that we're breaking our double clanning rule, that we're super rude for going in his server and trying to steal stuff and all this. And we finally calm him down and I'm like, what are you doing in here? He then explains that it is the duty of a head director of his board that he needs to go to other communities on alt accounts and keep tabs of competition, and he needs to make sure that we're not stealing his members, stealing his channels, and so forth. Not only is this just stupid and annoying, we have been built and lasting longer than DOIJ has. And for them to come to my server on alt and start claiming that we are stealing their members and that it is their duty to come over here and check on us is a joke. At the time of making this video, you guys are going to notice that he already changed his name to Supreme. And he also changed his picture. I have proof that he changed it because in our logs, I checked who he was, and the account is registered on a newer date than his original. The picture and the old account name stayed, but the account name changed with the whole Supreme. Which means, guess what he's doing still for DOIJ? He is still going to each server, going through each one of them, acting like he left their server, like he did whatever he may have done, and he is now getting their information off of. Most annoying part, too, is that he actually changed his name from BT King to a different name because he learned from his mistake with us because we knew who he was. So the fact that DOIJ is sending these guys to our server to get information on us is really aggravating. This guy, after we got done talking with him, he even admitted, he said that he wasn't joking when he was trying to get in. He admitted to the donations being used for stuff that is not for the server. Supposedly, I guess the staff team gets paid now also. He said that he was glad to be paid $500 to $100 a week. The donations and them sending people over don't stop there. I actually have someone who was in their server for over 2 years that wants to actually add something to this because he has actually some insider info on this issue.
If any of you watch this video from DOIJ, this is not a criticism. For me personally, me talking about this is more of me trying to help you. Anybody from DOIJ watching this sincerely, I would suggest maybe slowing things down and coming to a realization that you're just killing your server. Well, to get off to the number one thing I want to state during this interview, DOIJ, about 2 years ago, I couldn't handle it, you know. I got talked shit to from staff members. That's one of the reasons why I started looking at DOIJ in a different kind of point of view. We can talk about hundreds of things. I obviously can't go over everything. They copied people. CVC was here before them. As far as I know, they've copied CVC. XCon. Apparently XCon was stealing money from people. Or Uzi was his name, though. But apparently XCon was... I don't know if I'd call it technically stealing, but it was more of him asking for money for something that he needed, and then he took the money and took it for stuff that he didn't need. He didn't even use the money for what it was stated for.
Thank you guys so much for making it this far in the video, because we have now reached the end, the conclusion of what I've been talking about. I really just want to sum up real fast what I'm really trying to get at, and that's the fact that a lot of roleplay communities have lost touch with what they started with. You've lost path or sight of what you wanted, and that what you wanted at the start for many of us was to have a good experience. Now it's turning into some cookie cutter copied and paste crap of just garbage. Disrespect to members, acting like they're just numbers instead of people. Donations mattering more about if you're going to get banned or not. Paying for weapons to use. Paying to have money in RP to have a good time. This is not what it's supposed to be like, and the fact that it's turning into that is disgusting. Fix your crap. Communities are sending other staff to other servers to get tabs on the quote-unquote competition to see what they're stealing and what they're... It's not the way it's supposed to be at the end of the day, and this is pretty much my outcry to everyone that this is what's been happening. I wanted to inform everyone and also get my concerns out that these are the issues that are happening. And if that's something that DOIJ or URP don't want to follow, then that's fine. And if people want to keep supporting those types of servers that don't support the person, then go for it. I can't change that. But I want to leave it off on here in one comment. And that comment is, DOIJ, Con, if you want to talk or see if I stole something, how about you message me next time? Thanks.
Cops versus civs. Cops versus civs. Cops versus civs. Cops versus civs. Civ 1, Civ 2. Cops gon' get you. Civ 1, Civ 2. RP start soon.
And then I joined CVC. There's in ways that I can't explain it. But CVC is something truly special.